Hi everyone, I did another chapter of my John Maxwell, the 21 most powerful minutes in a leader's day. And today I started a new chapter because I finished the last one. This is on the law of the inner circle. So a leader's potential is determined by those closest to him. And you'll find that that's true of anything in life. So when I started doing this John Maxwell, it was through a friend of mine from high school. Her name is Jo Orak, and she's passed away now, but like me, she went through a lot, and she was a really nice woman. She saw all the challenges that I had with getting through to people and communication in a way that would help myself so that I could help them. And so it was through her, and we were connected on Facebook because of social media. We were able to connect. If we didn't have Facebook and we weren't able to connect, she wouldn't have known about the challenges I was going through. She wouldn't have known about what the problems were that I was having. She wouldn't have known about my accomplishments, that I graduated from Rotman, which is one of the elite business schools here, that I had my Master's of Arts, that I have a diploma in human resources, I have a certification in project management, the introduction. I also have completed my diploma in Ignatian spirituality to be a spiritual director. And yet, even with all those skills, I still could not get a break. So she suggested this to me because the mindset is very different when we come here from Africa. And we are very much about how people treat us and how we treat others. And when you go into the workplace and they don't care, if your hours are not right this week, it will be fixed in 2 weeks' time. But you don't have any money in your bank account and you still have to wait. So it's a very different kind of idea. They expect you to be grateful that you even have a job, and they expect you to do the work like of a director for minimum wage. And eventually maybe you'll get up to that place where you're earning like the big salaries and getting the benefits and all that. So it's a very different mindset from those of us who came here from Africa, where if you have the degrees, you have the qualifications, you expect those good paying jobs to open up for you because you've proven that you are capable of learning, you've proven that you are capable of being diligent, you've proven that you're disciplined, you've proven that you can go to a class every day while working and studying, and you can graduate, even with elder care responsibilities, even with maybe having other things going on in your life, but that's not enough for them. So she said to me, I did this, and maybe you could look at doing it because it's helped me in my life, and it's also helped me in my workplace. So that's how I got involved with this. And with the spiritual direction, again, it's the law of the inner circle, because when I came here from England, it was suggested to me by one of the priests that I used to keep in touch with, Damien Howard. I don't keep in touch with him anymore, but he had suggested it to me. So that's how I landed up coming to Toronto. I wanted to go to Vancouver, but I wouldn't have been able to take the classes and the courses because there is no theology school there that's like Regis College. So that's how I came here. And then again, the law of the inner circle, it was the professors around me, it was the teachers, the lecturers that helped me to choose my courses, which ones to focus on, and helped me to get my specialization. And with Rotman, again, I had looked into what I needed to do to qualify to get HR skills before I came to Canada. So I had written to HRPA, I had found out which the universities were here in Toronto, what I would have to do. When I arrived, I had my education assessed by World Education Services, and then I went into Rotman and the courses were preset. So I finished that. But if it wasn't for my friends and the people around me, I would not have accomplished everything that I accomplished, because they are the ones who encouraged me to persevere. They are the ones who are there with me on the journey. And even my friend Mita, who had passed away, she kept saying to me, I don't understand. You've got all these skills, these qualifications, you're a hard worker, and you can't get anything. It's ridiculous. She's like, what is Canada's problem? So I said to her, I don't know. I just do whatever I can, because really and truly it's either, oh, we're cutting budgets, or we lost a client, or we're going to have to let you go because we don't have the budget to keep you, and it's an ongoing thing. So she's like, Belinda, I wish Zimbabwe was okay. I wish you could come home. I said to her, yeah, I wish it was okay too. But unfortunately, this is what it is, and I have to make the most of it. So Mita and I used to keep in touch almost every day. We would message each other and we would video call each other. I supported her through her kidney failure and through her health issues. So I have a very close inner circle and people who I can turn to and who encourage me and who can help me to look at different possibilities and options. And I'm grateful to Joe, because I've met other people through this John Maxwell that I wouldn't have met. A lot of them are in the US, because John Maxwell is a New York Times best-selling author. So many of them are people that used to be in the military, and now they're speakers, they're coaches, they're authors. And I've met people from all over the world through our monthly meetings. I've met people from Ghana, from Malawi, from South Africa, and a lot of people in the US. So it's a nice way for me, and when I need to, I jump on the calls when I'm at home, and I can get support through the John Maxwell team, because being unemployed is not easy. Having no money in your bank account is not easy. And when I go to the church, I just go to the church, I do my prayers, and I come home. There's no socializing. I don't sit and chit-chat to people after Mass, after the Rosary. I just go, I do my prayers, and then I come home. So thank God I've got good friends, and thank God I've got WhatsApp. I've got people that I can connect with. And I stay in touch with family as well, so that also helps. My cousins, I have good people around me, so that helps a lot. And especially when you're unemployed, it's very, very stressful. And for me, this unemployment has not been just 1 or 2 years. It's been going on for the last 17 years. Short-term contracts, 1-year contracts, 2-year contracts. Oh, then they take the jobs away, then you're unemployed again, sitting at home, wasting your life. So that's why I'm doing this now, because I'm hoping I can get some speaking engagements, and like I had in the past at the Air Canada Centre doing facilitation, or at HRPA, I did a lot for them as a volunteer. So I'm hoping that through this I can get some speaking engagements to help other immigrants who come here to understand that this is the journey in Canada. If you're fortunate and you're blessed, you might get into a contract and then they might make you permanent. Some of the banks do that, some of the big corporations, but for me, that hasn't happened. It's always, oh yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then they let me go. So unfortunately now I'm over 50, and I'm still trying. I'm not giving up, because I know how to do investments. I know how to manage my money. I know how to look after myself. So I'm hoping I get that good paying job and that it comes sooner rather than later, because it's very hard when you are behind on your rent, you're behind on your bills, you can't pay your internet, you can't pay your phone, You can't pay for your food. This has been going on since the time I came to Canada. So it's very discouraging when you keep going in the circle and you keep doing a top job and they keep letting you go. And they tell everyone, oh, we like her, but they don't hire me permanently. They don't give me those good paying jobs with all the benefits, all the perks, all of the company benefits. So it's very humiliating. And I haven't just had jobs like in the call center. I've taken jobs in warehouses. I've taken jobs in bakeries. I've taken jobs where I've done cleaning. I've done everything I can to keep myself independent and to keep myself financially strong. And it just doesn't work out. No matter how good a job I do and no matter how many times I win Employee of the Month, when those opportunities come to make me permanent, to promote me, they don't keep me. So I really don't know what the problem is with this country, because it's not only me going through it. There are lots of people going through it, and that's why you need that. You need that inner circle. You need your friends. You need your family support, because families focus on their own families. They're not going to worry about you. They're going to focus on getting their children, their children's girlfriends, their children's boyfriends, husbands and wives into good jobs. And that's why we have to have good friends. We have to have a good inner circle. We have to have good support from the family, because if we don't have that, if that is broken, I can rest assure you the rest of it doesn't fall into place. So that's why it's been very, very hard for me. And that's why I keep pushing back. With my uncles, with my mother, I keep pushing back, because I tell them, I said, I also deserve to have time with the family. I also deserve to have memories with the family. I also deserve to have Christmases with the family. And I don't deserve to always have this kind of, oh, you do your thing, we are doing this. So now I told my mother, I said, you know what, if that's your attitude, we're not a family anymore. Because for one Christmas, people can't spend it with me. When I go to Auntie Delisa's family, do you think they treat me like part of the family? They don't. I'm an outsider, and they're having me join them because they feel sorry that, oh, okay, she shouldn't be on her own. That's not the right way. If you look at the photos, I'm always kneeling at the bottom. Even when it's my birthday, instead of focusing on me, they're focusing on everybody around me, and that is not fair to me. So I told him, I said, if you can't treat me properly, then leave me alone. Because I don't do anything to you, and you get upset, you get irritated, you tell people I'm the problem. What, did you wake up one day in your 80s and suddenly a light went on that I'm a good person and that I'm nice? I mean, it's inappropriate. It's very inappropriate, because when they get that kind of feedback from people in the family, obviously my career is not going to go anywhere. Why would it? If the family is telling people that, oh, we don't think she can hold a job, we don't think she's capable, we're surprised she even graduated, why is the company even going to bother? They're not, because they're going to she doesn't have any support from the family. She might have accomplished things and it's good. We admire her credentials and she's obviously diligent, she's obviously capable, but in Canada, they focus on the families. And it's the same thing in the Bible. If you look at this, he focused on this, teamwork makes the dream work. And he's given 2 Samuel 8, 1-8, 15 to 18, chapter 10, 6 to 14, 23, 8 to 38, and then 1 Chronicles 12, 1 to 40. So that's a lot of reading, but I did read all of it. And your inner circle can start with one good friend, one good person that can help you. The same way I have been there and I've taken people to introduce them to Father Larry. I've helped them to get into things. I've helped them with referrals to employment agencies. I've helped them to get their children into schools. I can be that one person that makes a difference in somebody's life, the same way that Jonathan in the Bible made the difference for Saul. And then you can go from being misfits to being mighty men and women. When I came to Canada, nobody knew me. I was just this little girl from Africa. And I had to prove myself. I had to get my credentials, I had to graduate, I had to build up my skills, I had to get involved in volunteering, I had to sponsor my mother, I had to prove to the government of Canada that I was holding a job and that I could bring her here to this country. I had to prove to the police that I was an upright person. I had to prove to everybody who I was. It wasn't just handed to me on a silver platter. And the same is true when we're building up God's kingdom. So he gives very powerful examples here of the structures that David put in place to consolidate and unify Israel, and how he made Israel stronger by conquering his enemies. Of course, in the Bible, it's a lot about the wars they fought and how they won and how they dispensed justice. But the names are there. If you look at the genealogy, if you look at the armies, it's always by the family name. And even in the church, when I go to the church, Father Larry will say, Belinda is here to represent her family. When I did that interview on CBC, the reporter said, Ms. Fernandez is here representing her family. Now Father Larry doesn't do that. Now my mother's married. He says, Belinda is here to represent herself. And even when I do my prayers, I pray, you can pray in the form of us, because when we say us, it doesn't mean you're possessed or something. You're joining yourself to the greater church. And so it's the greater we and the greater us. That's how we pray. But if you want, when you pray, you can say me. You can do it in your name if you're on your own. And then in here, he talks about how he brought the Ark of the Covenant to the city and re-established worship. And so we can do that too, like Deacon Bill was saying. If all the Christians and all the Catholics said, you know what, we want a Monday to Friday shift because we want our weekends for recreation, we want our weekends to go to church, we want our Sundays as a day of rest, everything would change in this country. If you're just one person doing it, obviously it's not going to work. Now I've got health problems, so yes, I can say I need a day shift. And even with that, sometimes they still force me to work overnight. So it's not like this is the first time I've worked overnight in Canada. Is not the first time. I had overnight shifts when I used to work in South Africa. It's not like it's the first time, but now my health, I can't do it anymore because I want to stay healthy. I don't want to get sick again and to get isolated again. I want to get a job where I'm working in a company downtown in Toronto and I'm interacting with people. And then John Maxwell makes the point that he established his dynasty and passed the crown to his son, Solomon. So again, it's what is coming through the family line. And it's what's coming through me. My mother is in Canada. Through me, my mother gets to enjoy time with the extended family, with my uncles, with my aunts. She gets to create memories with them, and they get to create memories with her. And they always forget about me. That's why I ask. I say, I want to join in. So-and-so is coming, I want to come. Because they've got their own lives, they're busy with their own lives. And I've never been stopped from joining in the family functions. This birthday was the first time my mother said, I'm not going to ask him. And usually I don't ask her. Usually I ask my brother. I say, ask him if I can come for a day, or if I can come spend a weekend. And normally my brother asks them. But because I thought I was close to my mother, I asked her, and she said no. So my dad's cousin in England was shocked She's like, they all coming. I said, I know. I asked my mom, I said, ask them if I can come while Savio's here and come for Stuart's birthday. And she said no. So she's like, but it's going to be a long time before you get to see everyone again. I said, I know. But this is how they treat me. So, and I didn't want to go there and then have a drama or be crying and upset and all this. I can't handle it anymore. I mean, if you can't have your daughter there with you and your sister there with you and your sister-in-law there with you for family functions, then why call ourselves a family? And that's the same with your team. When you are on a team, you don't want to be leaving one person out. You don't want to be shutting the door when they're sitting outside your office and leave them out and the whole team is going to be there. Because your team is not going to work then. That person is obviously going to be sent a message that they don't want you to be on the team anymore. That's why they're leaving you out. You're not getting included. You're not being included at meetings, at events, at movie nights. And Teleperformance was very good in that way. We all got included. When we had our Valentine's Day, they sent us little heart-shaped cookies at home. They were iced with pink icing and they were wrapped in a nice xylophone paper, and we all got that. They were very considerate in that way. And even with our computers, they sent them to us at home. They didn't say, okay, get a taxi, come to the office, pick up your equipment. They sent it to us. So for somebody like me, that's a big help when you send the equipment. We had champions in place like me. I used to mentor the new hires. I used to have them, they used to shadow me, and all my managers used to tell them. The operations manager used to tell them, she's our best, she's our top employee, so you sit with her, you listen to her, and you learn from her. And they did that virtually as well. So when you do that and they learn from you, then when the time comes, you can go to the next level. But unfortunately for me, they couldn't fix my ID, so they let me go, and they don't have anything else right now for me. So again, I do a top job, I do well, I build up the team, and then I'm let go. And now they told me, if you come back, we might have to bring you in at minimum wage. I'm like, I don't want that. I want to be brought in at the same wage or a better wage. So anyway, I'm still applying outside, waiting to see what happens. But it's basically the same concept. So David made his inner circle great, and his inner circle made him great. And that's true of the best of leaders. So the same way that my friends build me up, I build them up. I'm there for them with their sickness, with their health, with their education, and it's the same with the family. I'm there for them when they need me. They also need to be there for me when I need them. And that's how it goes. So the question John Maxwell leaves us with is, will your current team fulfill your dream? Because if your current team is all working together, whether it's in your family or whether it's in your friendship circles, then dreams get fulfilled. And because Joe referred me to this, and because she was somebody trustworthy, John Maxwell was willing to let me pay $99 a month until I could complete this. It's not a cheap program, it's over $3,000. So that's how I managed to do it. And again, it's about planting seeds and planting as many seeds as you can and waiting for the fruit. And I don't want to keep having this rotten fruit where I do good work, I nurture everyone, I help everyone, and what fruit do I get in return? I get the rotten fruit in return. I get let go from jobs. When it was just me and my sister, we didn't have any problems. When they organized their trips to America, they included me. We all went together as a family. So I'm tired of this. It's time people started treating me with respect, not because of, oh, she's got big credentials, so she thinks she's better than everyone. No, I've proved myself in Canada. I've proven myself. I've proven myself in the family. I've proven myself in my friendships. And I want to be treated with that respect. And for the sake of the people as well, my inner circle, I should be. All the professors that helped me, that taught me, all of the investment that I made in them, it should result in good fruit, not this rotten fruit that keeps coming into my life. I don't want this unemployment, people putting me down, telling people, oh, I don't think she can hold a job. I think she's the problem. In the past, she was good. No, I'm good now. I've always been good. It's my circumstances, yes, but it's time things changed for me.